Yeah, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. Welcome back. Another great episode of Unleashing Success with your boy Gruz, of course. If not me, who else? But this episode, like I say, I always said I would bring a variety of things. So this one we're going to talk about simple investments. Um, God asked me to break down the most simple investment that you can make. For me, that's kind of a hard answer because it all depends on what's in your skill set. Um, For me, honestly, my most simple investment is something that that requires a nice amount of skills that I have, such as I'm always say real estate because I'm a contractor. I could do roofing, plumbing, carpentry, drywall, anything except for masonry. So I'm always say the easiest investment is what I can do. The more you can do, the less you have to outsource, the more money you can make. So I think I'm gonna keep that as my answer because I can't tell you what's my easiest investment because a lot of the things that I invest in, of course, you gotta understand there's a world worth of things to invest in. There's not just 10 to 15 things, there's millions of different things to invest in. So like I said, for me, I try to stay within my would you say my arsenal of things I can do, like the internet stuff. Yeah, I picked that because I taught myself how to do web design. I taught myself how to work the server. I taught myself how to do a lot of the aspects of the internet part. So of course that's gonna be my first go-to. Plus I know how the money works. I know where it's hidden. I know the little tricks and trades. So I'm gonna pick that first. Secondly, I'm gonna pick my most next successful business, which is something dealing with property, because I can do everything with property. Or like saying, "Oh, I've been tinkering on cars for years. I'm opening a mechanic shop." You, maybe you should. That's something you've been doing. You already hold that trade. You don't have to start this investment and learn everything about it because you lose money learning. So remember that. I mean, I then started tons of businesses and said, "Oh, I'm gonna just do it along the way," and just watch thousands fly out the door. Now, eventually, I did find success, and I always call it paying for my lessons. So, I mean, I didn't go to school, I didn't get a degree, I jumped straight in it, and I had to pay for some bumps and bruises, and that's what comes out of it. So, what can you say? Um, Next topic that I was asked of is what was the next one I like to go with? Because I got a whole list of them. The next one I would say is what's the cheapest investment I've ever done? Most the cheapest investment I've ever done, I would say, is tax properties. Because I have businesses that I have started for like a few $100, but it always took another couple hundred or 1,000 or so to get it kicked up. But for what I can say, like tax properties, I paid 400 some dollars, cut the grass a few times, and sold the lot for like 7 grand. So I would say that's technically my cheapest investment. I mean, I had a landscaping company. I put out about 475 in tools. I had another little mechanic set up. I put out about 400 in tools. Like that's what I go by as far as a startup because most people would think it's so hard to start a business. It's not hard to start a business at all. As long as you got the proper insurance that the company requires to offer you work, that's all you need. I mean, the LLC is suitable for some pretenses, but you can also form a business as a sole proprietorship, which is on you. So now, if the company ever incur any large lawsuit, they're going to sue you personally. They could take your house, your car, your bank, whatever. The LLC is what covers that because if they sue you, they're suing that LLC and not you personally. But a lot of the businesses that I run, I feel comfortable enough to say that if I do damage anything, I can pay for it or I can fix it. So in those type businesses, if you feel that comfortable at what you do, then just rock out with the sole proprietorship. And you don't have to worry about the LLC. You can get an EIN just like a regular business, bank accounts, all that stuff, just like a regular old business. It's just the only difference is if anything ever kick back, it's gonna kick back on you and not the LLC. Next good question that I had, my creative spirit. Um, my creative spirit comes from, of course, within. But coming up as a kid, I used to always, I wanted to play sports. I liked the basketball, but of course I wasn't in the basketball shape. I was built for football, but I didn't really care too much for football. And I liked the boxing a lot. And my fat ass went boxing back then. So I started to shift my stuff because it's like everybody going to basketball camp and all this other stuff. So it's like, okay, they did have like computer camp when I was a kid, but my folks really ain't think that I was serious when I asked to go to computer camp. Oh, you're not gonna stay there for the whole summer and you're not gonna have to come home. I mean, we don't know. But I started to tell myself, like, bro, you gifted. You just gotta find your gift or unlock it. So I used to always love tinkering around with stuff, model airplanes, model cars, so on and so forth. So that's when I got the idea, like, okay, bro, you good with working with your hands. And then I had got a job one time where I had to be an excellent problem solver, and I was super, super good. So I'm like, okay, started finding other little tricks of the trade. So then that's when I started seeing things like two times, and that was it. I literally watch a video on YouTube two times an entire, and voila, bang, I can do whatever they did in the video. That's how I learned Photoshop. Just watching tutorials, watch it two times, go try it myself, it come out the same, and there we go, off to the races. Go learn how to do something else, and something else, and something else, and something else, and then it goes from there. But my creative spirit always came from wanting to be different. I mean, everybody played in the NBA, everybody, NFL, like nobody really around where I came from could come back and say, yo, bro, I made millions of dollars on the internet. Or I'm a famous YouTuber. Like that's not something common where I come from. So to me, it kind of drove me to it differently. And then as far as the entrepreneur spirit was, a guy had told me, he was like, bro, you're able to somehow maintain or run all these sites on a daily basis. So why wouldn't you ever try to run multiple businesses on a daily basis? And I'm like, I could do that. He was like, I mean, you doing it. And then that's when my creative spirit bumped up because that's when guys used to tell me, I'm like, yo, I know y'all ain't get this, obtain what y'all got just from sitting here posting to no blog or adding a couple videos a day. And they be like, no, what we did was we got online, we made some scratch online, and then they took their money offline. Some of them kept it online and invested in the other up and comers like me. And some of them took it and invested and made real businesses like one guy went and started a chain of taco trucks. Another guy went and started a custom jewelry business with his wife. I mean, they made their money real off the internet. So that's when I was like, okay, maybe I should start and invested in real companies. So I read an article by Warren Buffett one day back in like the early thousands, and it was, going in depth about like how many over at that time he owned over 130 some businesses. And that's when I was like, yo, how the fuck this one man own all this shit? And then that's when I started learning about CFOs and CEOs and all them people that runs these corporations. So you look at it, they were saying that Warren Buffett owned over 130 corporations, but at the end of the day, he employed over 3,000 people. So those 3,000 people is how this man was able to run his 100 companies by himself. I never looked at it that way. I made the logo. I picked the site. I uploaded the site. I made the content. I picked the videos. Everything I thought was me, 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 me. And then I read that and it blew my mind because now it gave me an opportunity to say, well, no shots, but everybody got people sitting around doing nothing, chilling. So I tell myself, well, damn, if I make a business that's good enough, I could take everybody to work with me. So my workforce, I ain't got to worry about being around a nagging ass bull or some nut ass nigga I don't want to fuck with. Everybody I work with is my homeboys or my friends or family. And I kept trying to start a business that could feed everybody because I always say, if you can feed everybody, we all eat, we all going to enjoy ourselves, and we making money. Best joy in the world, enjoying yourself and making money. So that kind of gave me my real entrepreneur spirit. And that's where my creativeness came in from. That I wanted to be, I wanted to employ people. Like I always said, I wanted something that can employ hundreds or thousands of people. Because at least I know at night I can go to bed knowing that I'm helping all these families, you know, that makes me feel good. I mean, people say it's the money. Yeah, of course, yeah, you float around the island and the yachts and all that stuff, but that's for them. For me, I feel better just knowing that all them families can eat off of something that I built along with mine. And I mean, also too, I think that's why I had so much success because I stay genuine, I stay humble, and I always keep the people at hand. When I made my websites, I lost a lot of money making everything free, but I didn't care because, like I told myself, I'm not putting my credit card in nobody's website. So how do I expect them to put theirs in mine? So I said, fuck it, I'll make everything free and I'll rely off the advertisement money. And then once I got smart enough to say, okay, I could just buy my own server, and that's the bulk load of the money to keep the site showing for people. And once I got that impact, I was able to offer everything I've ever done for free. Never had a paid site, never. Always ate off of advertisements. So I mean, if you can get something like that, that's cool. But if you're selling apparel or something like that or jewelry, then that's not a choice you can make because you gotta sell it. But in a world site world, offering free sites. I mean, how much do you pay to use Facebook or Instagram or any of them? They're all free. They're free since day one. I always follow their model because those are this where I wanted my stuff to get to. So that's where that came from. Touch on two more because, like I said, two of these questions got me. How do I keep my mental state? Ooh. Number one, and I mean number two, I've always been a pretty grounded person. Um, always been through some of the toughest fights. Um, just been through a lot alone. So it was like my mental state is different because like I tell some people, the average person, you got your scalp, your skull, your brain. I tell people I got my scalp, my skull, a protective plate, then my brain. So a lot of the things that normally penetrate and fuck with people mental, they don't bother me because I got a list of things that I know that I should be doing daily in life and period. And that says that the only thing I worry about is paying these bills and keeping my kids happy. Those are the only two jobs that I had to maintain. So when it comes to any other level of stress outside of that, it's like a wall. Like a clear wall, I can see it, but it don't bother me. So that's how I was able to keep my mental intact for so long, and that's how I still be able to flourish around anything. The time don't change. A lot of people were stressed out during COVID. I wasn't. I was good during COVID. I was all right. But I mean that's part of me always having that personal time. And I don't mean by myself. I mean like when you get to sit back and just put everything together in your mind. Oh, all right, I did this week, and I gotta do this next week. And, oh wow, I want to hang that picture. Oh, I want to put that TV up on the wall. Just that little time. That's how I keep myself grounded. Oh man, I want to paint the bathroom. Like the little stuff like that. But for the main part is this. I'm always working on something that I love to do, and that's why I think I've been so joyful lately because it's all stuff that I want to do. This podcast stuff I've been wanting to do it for a long time. Man, that was a lot of parts that people didn't understand. I mean, you watch my old videos, I was all over the place. I was high as hell. I really didn't have myself grounded. And then there was so many things that I was doing that I couldn't talk about, and so many things I obtained that I couldn't talk about. So it was like, I'm just getting on there making videos just to make videos. Now I got a lot more the education side down, so I can talk. We don't have to sit here and talk about my accolades. I can teach y'all how to get your own because the information is fresh and I use it daily. But it's just mainly that's the main pieces that keep my mental intact. And for my last question before I get out of here, I mean, people ask me a lot, so I'm definitely have to touch on this question. What keeps me grounded? Um, Family, work. My kids do a lot to keep me grounded. I mean, they the best. So they have a big piece of it. And like I said, I do all I do for them. Um, for me, I don't really do much enough for me no more. I used to, but it's them now. I'm one of them people that feel is that if I say this, I don't want y'all try to grind me up. Y'all see me like, oh, he got a Ferrari or a Bentley. Or, no, I'm still me. But what I'm saying is, I had my time. It's daytime. So the way my mind work is, I'm trying to make it so, you know, my kids can live in condos next to stars and, you know, go to high school and $100,000 cars. Like I want them to experience that shit. So that's why I do what I do. I mean, I would like to travel. That's about all I want to do. I mean, shit, y'all see me every video, man. Polo T. I got kicks for days. Don't get it fucked up. I got more kicks than Luke Kane. But the part that what impresses me in life now is watching my kids grow, watching them advance. Um, that's keep me grounded. I mean, I would say a few other things, but that's not the case. I mean, my pop used to keep me grounded a lot, And like I said, working through, that's still a tough thing, but it's like certain things my pop used to say to me when I was younger, like, you ready. I was like, man, I ain't ready for shit. I was fucking talking about. And he'd be like, nah, well, one day you gotta take over, man. You gotta man your own shit. You gotta call your own shots. You gotta do you. And he was like, I think you're ready. And I used to be like, man, I hate. And when I used to look at how life was for him, it was like, okay. I used to be like, man, what you crying about? Oh, man, this shit's sweet. But the more and more I got to grow up and deal with things, I started to realize some of the stress that he was carrying, or the times when he might have been, I'm taking an extra drink. I know them days now. I didn't know them then. That's because I didn't have kids and I didn't have a ton of responsibility like I do now. So I definitely say he kept me grounded a lot, and then he made me always understand that material things are material. You can live without them. They not what you need, they wants. And of course, as a grown man, you have to separate your wants from your needs, or your ass to be out on the street homeless or begging a bunch of people for bread. So I'm a firm believer of what I need and what I want. What I need gets done first. What I want comes later on. So that's my main chemistry, how I keep myself grounded with the world and all the stuff that goes on, you know. And that's the easiest way to do it. I don't live beyond my means. I watch people do it every day. And sometimes, I laugh and trip off of it, but in reality, I ain't fucking with it. Because for me, I'm used to a certain lifestyle. So if I can't have that lifestyle, I'm not happy. And I don't like being unhappy. So for that reason, I would follow exactly what I'm saying, and that's how I carry myself, and that's how I keep myself intact. But this is definitely good. This is a little episode I told somebody I'd do something about, because people always ask me how's my mental and stuff like that, and that's the other side. Because I mean, I done changed a lot. I done grew up a lot. That's why I say a lot of people be watching these videos like, "Damn, bro, they always sound the same." No, I mean, I'm still me, but at the end of the day, I'm older. So all the experiences that I've been through, which was a lot. And I mean, I tell people all the time, I seen 40, 50 years at the age of 20 something. So just imagine by the age of 40, I done seen it. I done seen pretty much seen majority. Like I said, I done seen it all. And I hate when old heads get mad. We all youngers ain't seen we didn't seen it all in America, nigga. Yeah, we went in Vietnam and no, nigga, we seen it all here. I done been through the worst of the worst. I done seen it all. So the way that I project life is, to me, is one of a kind. But I hope, as always, these videos be able to help somebody or help people understand, or maybe they might be going and feeling the same way that I feel and be like I do, because I'll be like, man, I think I'm going crazy. And then I rap to somebody, they be like, damn, bro, I was just saying that too. So that's when I was like, no, I'll start taking your thoughts a lot more seriously, because they might just be a message that your subconscious is trying to block. So, start feeding into it. And I mean, you know, but as always, man, it's fresh up another episode on the Success with your boy Grub. Who else? Bye.